Ohio police, they shoot a 15-year-old over a toy gun. Here we go again. Here it is.
Where are you coming from? Can I see your hands real quick? Oh. Hey, it's fake. Shots fired. Shots fired. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Put up the picture full mass. Per multiple outlets, newly released body cam videos shows the moment's 15-year-old Tavion Koonce-Williams was shot while holding a fake toy gun by Akron, Ohio police. The cop who did the shooting, we actually do have his name on record, Officer Ryan Westlake. April 1st is the incident date. It occurred within seconds of stopping the teen at Westlake. 9-year Department veteran responded to a 911 call. Reports state the teen's injuries are not considered life-threatening because the teen was shot in the wrist. That's not because the officer tried to do that. The officer just missed killing him. Okay, so understand this 15-year-old could be dead. So he does not have these are not life-threatening injuries, but they are injuries nonetheless, psychological and physical. The officer has been placed on paid administrative leave as state officials conduct an investigation. So the footage shows Tavion repeatedly screaming, "It's fake," over and over and over again. His voice is cracking as he begins to cry while complying with Westlake's commands to get on the ground. Investigators confirmed the gun was fake. The teen was returning home from his cousin's funeral, walking the area near his grandmother's home when he was approached by Officer Westlake. The incident began at 7:04 p.m., April 1st, when a woman walking her dog called 911 to report seeing a man pointing a gun at houses in East Akron. She said he was holding the gun sideways, as though he were going to shoot into homes, according to the 911 call audio that was released by the city. In the released footage, Westlake finds Tavion at 7:11 p.m., parks alongside the teen. Westlake asked to see Tavion's hands. "Where are you coming from? Can I see your hands real quick?" Westlake asked before drawing his gun while getting out of his car and firing one round 3.5 seconds later. Responding officers decided to put a tourniquet on Tavion's arm because it was injured. And the young man had done nothing illegal. In his statement, the teen's attorney said Tavion was shot on the side of his wrist, suggesting that his hands were actually up at the moment he was in fact shot. Attorney Okolo has vowed to seek justice for Tavion. Okolo said in the statement, Tavion is a high school student, now grappling with the trauma of being profiled and having his life flash before his eyes after being shot. Okolo maintained Tavion did nothing wrong, noting Ohio is an open carry state. He also stated Black boys deserve to grow up and live without the threat of walking home and being shot by the police. He said something, once again, that sometimes gets brushed under the rug. It is an open carry state, which means even if a person is walking with an open weapon that's visible to you and me, that in its own context is not supposed to be illegal, all right? This happened to not be a gun at all. There's more. The mayor, Shamas Malik, on the left, who is just shy of his 100th day in office, released the footage and Westlake's personnel file promising transparency, which is the reason we have the cops' information as the investigation continues. The file contains multiple complaints, multiple disciplinary actions, along with use of force incidents, including one deemed unreasonable The city police chief, Brian Harding, is on the right. The department would not comment further beyond confirming that the gun was fake, and they will not say anything more because of the open investigation. The local Fraternal Order of Police chapter released a statement Tuesday saying Westlake, quote, acted within policy and procedure and according to his training. This is a throwaway line. They utilize this all the time. The personnel file shows the police union previously represented Westlake and won him back his job after he pulled his firearm on his girlfriend. This happened in January 2021. The police union, courtesy of the police union. The union added, it knows people may have, quote, concerns about Westlake's personnel file, but that, quote, does not change the fact that this use of force on April 1st, 2024 was objectively reasonable. Well, that's interesting, Mr. Union Chief, because it doesn't have to be objectively reasonable for your cop to be protected. It simply needs to be subjectively reasonable to the police officer. But it's ironic you utilize the word objective as if anybody in that same situation would react the same way. It's typically what that means. But it's the subjective standard that typically gets them their de facto immunity. Westlake's history, let's talk about it, because to me it is important. May 13th, 2021, report listed 2 incidents that got Westlake in trouble. He used foul language and a homophobic slur showing his bigotry during a March 2021 interaction. And there was an incident in January 2021 in which Westlake admitted he was drunk and he decided to pull his gun out and point his firearm toward his girlfriend. The police chief recommended that Westlake be suspended. Westlake and his union representation appealed the recommendation. The man pulled out his gun illegally, menacing, okay? He's drunk. He's in possession of a firearm and intoxicated. He gets suspended. Representation appealed the recommendation for suspension, but documents show the former mayor fired Westlake on July 20th, 2021. The next day, the city agreed to a deal with the union that Westlake be reinstated and serve a 71-day suspension without pay for his violations, according to the agreement document in his personnel file. Wow, there's more. For some in Ohio, the shooting brought to mind the 2014 killing of 12-year-old Tamir Rice, who was shot by Cleveland police while holding a pellet gun. Rice's mother, Samaria Rice, told the Plain Dealer in Cleveland on Tuesday that Westlake didn't have to shoot Tavion. Quote, this is ridiculous. We have to fight back against the policies and procedures of policing. Thank God he did not kill the young man. That's right. Thank God, because if it was up to the cop, the kid would be dead. Here we go again. All right. So this is when they do that. They piss on your head and tell you that it's raining. Routine. Jordan, thoughts?
Yeah, when I first heard about this story, my mind immediately went to Tamir Rice. It was There's so many similarities from somebody calling the police, describing a young black boy in the same way you would describe a man. In Tamir's case, it was that he saw it as a man. But he, at least in that one, he said, I think that the gun is fake. It's probably fake. And here we have the same instance, a child just playing with a toy. I mean, you want the proliferation of guns. It's an open carry state, but a black child playing with the toy that replicates this consumer product that everyone loves here in America. That's the problem. And you see the way racial bias affects people's understanding and interpretation of these situations. Immediately he gets out of the car and shoots this child. Thankfully, he's still alive. But they say it's 3.5 seconds. It felt like an instant. How do you make an appropriate assessment of the situation in that short of a time? And the FOP statement is so ridiculous. Oh, he acted in protocols. Your protocol is to ask, let me see your hands and then shoot somebody? If that's the protocol, the entire system needs to be eradicated. I would argue that's a good idea, but that just shows, like you're saying, the FOP trotting out that line is absolutely absurd. They are only in business to protect bad cops. It's a union that operates like a bunch of thugs, and they should never be compared to any other workers' union.
That's right. Very well said. I agree completely. Updates will come. We will bring them.